Okay, for those who have tried to turn your fog lights on in the middle of a snowstorm on a second gen Sequoia and realized that they do absolutely nothing, this video is for you. We have some Enthuze higher performance LED lights that we're going to install in the truck. So we'll see how this turns out. We actually called Toyota, which is where we got our last high beam or our last brighter LEDs from, which were really awesome. So much so that we had to turn them down so they, and by turn them down I mean clock them down so they angled lower on the highway, so we didn't get as many people flashing. I think we had brights on, which worked. But when you put higher powered regular lights in, you start to notice how weak your high beams and fog lights are. So this is hopefully going to be the trick. So we called Toyota. They sourced these, but they said, if you want, you can also go to a place called Action Car and Trucks, which is a subsidiary of some place called Truck Parts. I will find that out and put it in the comments below. But yeah, Enthuze is the brand. Toyota supports it, and we're going to see how it goes in. So hopefully this isn't a all-night affair and it's just plug-and-play bulbs, so we'll see. So it's CTP Distributors. That's who makes these Enthuze, or who provides the Enthuze via Action Trucks and off-road accessories. These are the bulbs that have a ballast connected to them. You know, some people call these the anti-flicker for LEDs to regulate the voltage or wattage or amperage or whatever it is doing. But it should be theoretically plug and play. You unplug your old bulb, take that plug it into here. This goes into the socket. It should have the exact same openings and such that are required, and then you're off to the races. Zip ties, in case you need to zip tie this up to something. That is sometimes the case. So in this case, this one didn't come with zip ties, but I have mini zip ties and this one has 4, so I might end up using this for this and this. More to come. Okay, so this is inside the car. The truck is on, so it should be getting, you know, max power to the lights, which I don't think makes much of a difference. But I'm about to turn the light on. So that's regular beams with a high powered LED light. I think they're called something like top speed lights. We got them from Toyota. They were quite good. This is with the fog lights getting turned. I'm just wait till this truck goes by. Fog lights get turned on. So you can see a slight difference. On, off. On, off. On. Not much difference though. Off.
Fog light?
Okay, so this is the fog light. Fog light is behind here, and you got to take all the bolts off of here. Okay, so I've got the bolts off of the little mud flap that was here. This is the mud flap. It had a number of bolts on the bottom. There's about 4 bolts there that I took off, and the other one is here. Obviously try not to lose everything. I'm gonna take off this from here. This one was already missing. This lets you kind of pull this thing down a bit, and then you can then have access to bend this out, and then you can get your arm in from the back. So far that seems like the least intrusive way of doing this. And then I'm going to get out of there. I'll show you how I took out the fog light. Okay, so here we are in the underside of the truck. So now you can see you can pull this out. I got the fog light out of here. It came from that housing back there. Very easy to get to once you open this up. And these bolts that connect to right here, a little problematic. I would say if you're trying to get them out and you can't, it's the solution is to pull this up, because what that does is pull it, or I guess pull it down. So pull it down away from you to create some tension, and that lets it pull against the nut and it'll pop it off. You can kind of see what it looks like on the back side of it, which is always the view you want to see before you do this, so you can know what you're dealing with. But basically, this one closest to me, there's a nut on the back of there, and that's the problematic piece, because you have to, it's kind of like seated in there. And I'll show you the nut here. The nut is, where have I put the nut? This is the nut. So you can kind of see that's the nut, and it fits on top in that hole, and that's what it tightens into. So that's what you'll have to just be careful you don't lose that. It's pretty hard to, because it's going to fall out, but that's the nut. So one thing useful to do is turn your tire to the side. It gives you much better access to that opening, so you can get your fog light out. Okay, so we're back in the car / truck, and we're going to check out the lights. So this is the regular lights. Now check out the fog lights. It seems a little brighter. The cool thing with these fog lights is if you flick them off and on, you can turn them from white to yellow. So you can try that. Yellow light, white light, yellow light.